Hello, and welcome to another episode of Freelancing Web Design. And I think it's been 2 months since I've uploaded an episode, so it's been a while, but I'll get into what I've been doing these 2 months in a second. But today I kind of wanted to create like a different style of video where I'm like outlining where my head's at, because there's just been this thought in my head that has been brought up to me from other people that I've talked to in the community, where like there's gonna come a point in time when I'm gonna have to decide what I want to specialize in, and that brought me to outlining the pros, like not the pros and cons, but more so like what entails in each area of design and development, and like my feelings towards it. And going into that, I came from a design background because I, did a boot camp, and then originally was going to be a UI UX designer. And then after boot camp, I decided to learn Webflow and, build my own portfolio out and like showcase the work that I did from the boot camp into the web. So just some food for thought is like my thoughts initially coming out of the boot camp were like, what am I going to do with this prototype? And really like, what can I do with this prototype besides record a video and then, share it and then like go into what it could look like and like how it could interact. But learning development, I was able to actually build that out and post it on the web to have people interact with it and like show people like this is how you would interact with this website, or like this is what you would experience by visiting this website. And I have this belief where at least it's like my freelancing slogan of like transforming the web one pixel at a time by creating like custom immersive experiences. And I think that's possible with development, because while like design, you have your fundamentals of like creating layouts, content design, typography, user experience, user flow, the colors you choose, the themes that you decide to dive into when designing, at least something that I have started doing, and then relating all that to business goals and then creating a functional prototype out of it. But when it comes to development, I'm taking that design that I made and building it out. I'm creating the interactions and I'm bringing it to life. And I'm also understanding like how my design would be on the web and like how the browser works. And there's just so much more to go into development because there's so much out there compared to like just websites. Like there's web apps and etc. But with Webflow, I've mainly been building, your standard website. Like for, what have I done? Probably like in clothing brand, maybe, because Webflow isn't too great at e-commerce, but mainly like marketing sites, I'd say. And learning that, I just discovered that there was so much more to web development. Like I could be making like product showcase pages, or I could be making e-commerce pages, and like coupling that with like 3D interactions and interaction design that I can make using like animation libraries like GSAP, and that just breeds a product into life for me. So I think going forward, I'm going to be focusing more on the dev side, because I feel as if I'm not the greatest designer in the world, but I think that the design that I do is dictated based on what I can do in Webflow. And that is why I'm deciding to put more time into it. Now, Webflow versus hard-coded. And I know that this is a hot topic of like, oh, you're not really a developer if you do no code, which, okay, fine, whatever you want to think. I'm still putting something on the web. So, but the things about Webflow is that it's really fast. It's really easy once you get the hang of it to like visually build something using HTML and CSS. And the one thing that has kind of it hasn't really bothered me too much, but like after learning about like hosting solutions like Netlify or like Cloudflare or like GitHub Pages even, like I know that CMS probably factors into Webflow's pricing, and not to say that it's like unfair or something, but after like seeing that I can just like put something out on the internet for free using like Cloudflare, Netlify, or GitHub Pages, I am just wowed because like I think for Webflow like to maintain like the projects that I have, I'd have to pay for like a workspace, and then eventually if I wanted to incorporate like more features, then I would need a hosting plan, so that can probably be like $400 a year compared to like I don't know. I don't even know. I don't think I even pay for any hosting on my side projects that I've done through code. So, but it opened my eyes that there's more than just websites, as I said up here, where like if I really wanted to, I could maybe make a web app down the line. Like, who knows? The possibilities are really endless, and the amount of control that I have when like coding interactions that I've done in the past, although they're not like complex or anything, it just made me feel super satisfied like after hitting that final publish button to launch my site. So, yeah, moving forward, this is what I plan on doing, is that I plan on learning more about JavaScript, TypeScript, React, eventually Astro. I'm also learning 3JS. So basically what I've been doing the past 2 months is like on for this side of like my journey is I've been learning JavaScript by doing side projects. I've been really trying to learn by doing instead of like through a course or something. And I've been coupling that with 3JS. So JavaScript's not the most exciting thing to me as of right now, but 3JS is basically JavaScript, just, with a library. But there's still some like core concepts that I'm learning as well. And it helps me motivate myself to push through like the quote unquote boring part, because like it's fundamentals, but you should really grind out fundamentals to, get better at things and like have a solid foundation for the long run, because tech is always changing and the tool that you could be using could go away. So but my reasoning for using like this tech stack or like this learning path is because I want to create e-commerce sites and product showcase pages. And I know Next is a very common framework, but I chose to go with Astro because I picked it up in the past just to like play around with it. And like for the 2 days that I played with it, it just felt like it clicked for me. And like I knew some React, but like I got overwhelmed with Next and I didn't really know what was happening. I also tried Remix, and I'll probably pick that up down the line, down the line when I decide to make like a web application. But as of right now, I don't think I need anything super complex. I would just need it to, host the item, or not host the items, like have the tools that I choose be able to handle like 3D development and stuff. And as I mentioned earlier, the reason I'm going into development is because I do really feel like it helps me improve design-wise, because now that I've been learning code, I've been less afraid to plan out interactions before, like during the wireframing phase. And that's something I learned about when I talked to Ilya, when I talked to Nine, and some people in OKDev, where like they're already thinking of interactions like way ahead of time. And the way that I was thinking of interactions is that like I would have to break it up on like what's happening and then figure out the code for what I'm trying to achieve. And yes, I only think it just benefits me in the long run. down the line, though, I do want to include design on like hard coded projects, because like for now I just want to stick to coding in terms of like if I were to revamp a site, it would probably be like updating it really simply, like using a template or even like mocking up a design really quick. But I do want to offer it as one of the services, so I could have like design or developing with Webflow or developing it hard coded, and then having the pros and cons for each, and then having different pricings. So just a lot more options for myself, while also not being limited to just like marketing pages or just like your standard websites. Like I want to be able to create shops or like product showcases and like incorporate some sort of back end, and that's also all possible with Webflow as well. But I also want to understand it at like a fundamental level as well, and maybe even create a web app just because I feel like it. But you've probably already saw, since I didn't move it far down enough, but 2 months since the last video, I landed my first client outside of friends and family. So that's been a ride, trying to balance like part-time work, learning coding, and then working on this project. And it's been really cool that like throughout the project I feel more confident in like the decisions that I'm making, and like knowing that I am the expert in what I do, and that a lot of the care that I have for like the work that I do really showcases when I'm speaking about like the decisions I made, the design layouts, and etc., and like ideas I have for interactions, and just presenting all that. And it's been a really great experience. And what else? I already mentioned deciding to learn how to code. And yeah, no, that's pretty much it, besides like yeah, the pivot to code. But I just wanted to outline most of that. I will be sharing more of that on the YouTube channel once I get some more projects going, because right now it's more so of like, I just made my first web page using like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and now I'm finishing up this blog site that has some 3JS incorporation in it, which I'm really excited to show. And like I said, it's not like I'm gonna stop doing Webflow stuff, because I still really love Webflow. But for like my side projects and like learning, I do think development will help me in the long run and improve both these aspects and just like bring me to a whole new level. And the fact that I can also create like 3D stuff, because that there's just like so much that I can like go into, because it's like I can do like e-commerce or like product, or I can do like storytelling sites, or like I've said it multiple times, but like a web app would be cool. Yeah, it's just so much for me to be excited about, and like creating these interactions, like really adding that extra like oomph to a website just to make it more immersive. And that's been my goal, and my goal in life is just to create really cool stuff that I care about, and that I care about and I'm passionate about. So that's it for today's video. And yeah, let me know thoughts, or if you have any questions, feel free. But I do plan on doing some what do you call it, design content still. I think it'll just be shifted more towards like the dev side of things, of like creating experiences. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.